Guys, there are 6 things that every single loan has in common, regardless of whether you're doing a residential loan or a commercial loan. And in today's video, I want to cover all of those, and I think you're going to get a lot of value from it. So please stick around until the end. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Zevi. I'm an owner of a mortgage business in Los Angeles. I'm also the creator of the part-time residential and the part-time commercial lender academies, both of which are available for you via link in the description of this video, so make sure you check them out, all right? So now, what exactly do all loans have in common? Well, they have the same skeleton, it's the same structure. And regardless of whether you're thinking about becoming a residential loan officer or a commercial loan officer, you want to learn about both of them, I think it's really important that you understand the structure, because once you do, you could literally walk a borrower through the whole journey because you understand what the next step is. And it all really starts at the top with something called discovery. All right, guys, first on the list is discovery. And the reason being is we cannot help or serve a borrower until we know what their needs are. So there's a lot of different options, right? It could go residential, it could go non-qualified mortgage, it could go private money, maybe it's a commercial loan. We do not know until we start asking all these questions. So the discovery piece is huge because it could actually stop at discovery before we get into the next step once we realize whether the borrower is trying to get something that is likely going to fit within their means. 2, if it's likely that we do offer that product, that we know we have the skill set and the knowledge to be able to help them, all right? And number 3, what's their timeline? Is it something that they need now? Is something they need a year from now? Because things will obviously change subject to whatever they need. So discovery is going to be honestly a huge thing, and never go into any type of a transaction without asking a ton of questions. If you've ever watched, one of my favorites is Alex Hermosi, and he talks a lot about sales. And basically the top line is always just ask more questions. The more questions you ask, the more you know how you can help this individual. In addition to it, you might hit a lot of walls with somebody, and just by asking them a ton more questions, that might unfold a lot of objections, which may lead us to number 2, which is actually pre-qualifying. All right? So first we discover and we see if there's even an opportunity there to help them. All right? And then the second one on our list is, now that we know that we do in fact can help them, we know what the pain point is, we know where it hurts, then how can we fix that problem? There's a series of questions that we're going to go through depending on whether the deal goes residential, non-QM, private money, or commercial, subject to what we found when we initially spoke to them on the discovery call. All right? Now, once we can pre-qualify a borrower, it doesn't mean that we validated anything just yet. It just simply means that we had a broad conversation with somebody who gave us a framework of what they believe their financials look like, the picture that they want to put together looks like, and then we ask them some very specific questions that have to do with their assets, their credit, their income, right? Their employment history, their experience, meaning are they an REO real estate operator right now? Is this an investment on an owner-user transaction? It doesn't matter, again, whether it falls into the residential bucket or the commercial bucket. And so we're basically gonna pre-qualify this individual to make sure that they themselves fit into the bucket that they are looking to get qualified for. As an example, somebody might say, I'm self-employed, I make a ton of money, and I would like to buy X, Y, and Z. Great. Can I take a quick look at your tax returns? And then, yeah, they make a lot of money. They write off all their expenses, meaning that the bottom line is a 0. Then it stops there, right? We're no longer looking at conventional lending. We need to look at some kind of an alternative option. And then of course, depending on what their credit looks like, to know whether we need, again, to shift gears into private money. So same thing, residential, commercial, all the same. Once we pre-qualified this individual, it's time to validate the information that we spoke about, which is number 3. So that means we're now into the doc collection phase. We went from discovery, we found out what the problem was, we understood how we can help the borrower, then we asked them specific questions about, the actual things that are gonna need to happen for them to be able to get this loan. We validated that that is the right type of a loan for that individual. And then now that we got a verbal, we really need to have it in writing. We do want to look at the documentation, right? Going back to the assets, the income, the credit, the employment, the REOs, whatever else they have going on. We want to validate it, and that's where the document collection comes into play. And those are the first 3. Now, we're covering a lot of ground here and we're moving very quickly. So if you have any questions about any of the stuff, just drop it in the comments below. All this stuff I cover in the part-time, either residential or commercial lender academy, depending on your path. So again, that is available for you via link in the description. First 3 on our list, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna erase the board and let's jump into the next 3. Again, questions, drop them in the comments. All right, guys, moving on to item number 4. Like we said, the first one was discovery. Then we went into pre-qualifying the borrower. Then we validated that the information they gave us is correct by collecting their documentation. That was the first 3. We're moving on to item number 4, which is underwriting. Now, we're removing the piece of qualifying the borrower from our plate, and we are now moving it over to the lender's plate, meaning that we've done our due diligence based on the information that they gave us because we collected their documentation. We went through it. We looked at it and we said, looks like it's in line. Now, we cannot make a credit decision. We're not underwriters. So what we do is we package the loan and we move it over into underwriting. Now, underwriting could be anywhere. It could be on the residential side, could be on the commercial side, it could be non-QM, it could be private money. It all really depends on where this loan is going to go. And that was basically predetermined based on the first 3 things that we've discussed. Now that the loan is in underwriting, the underwriter is going to validate the same exact things that we did. The asset, the credit, the income, the liabilities, which we, haven't gone through just yet. Everything that's associated with this file to be able to make a credit decision. So that's our big number 4. And again, residential, commercial, all the same. The underwriter is gonna have to make a decision. Now, there's 3 decisions that this underwriter can make. They can give it a thumbs up, which means it's qualified, all right? They can give it a thumbs down, which means that it's declined, or they may need more info. We call that suspended. And so it's either approved, declined, or suspended. Once the underwriter makes a credit decision, hopefully it's a positive one, then we move on to the next stage. Now for us, obviously, to be able to move forward, it cannot be declined, right? And for us to be able to move forward, if it's suspended, they need to provide more information. The only time we can move forward, obviously, if the loan is approved, which leads us now into number 5. Okay, guys, number 5 on our list. Now that our loan has been conditionally, hopefully approved, we have number 5, which is a conditional approval. All right? Because what the lender is telling us is, I like it, I'm willing to lend on it, subject to you giving me these laundry list of conditions. And what does that mean exactly? We may need further clarification of certain items as they are pertaining to, and it could be a million different things, but if they're related to the borrower, then again, going back to the asset, the income, the credit, right? The employment, all that other stuff. There may be other things that are not even associated to that, such as, are they married, divorced, is there a divorce decree, is there other sources of liabilities, other sources of income that we need to document? What about the chain of title of the actual property? Are there any liens, anything that we need to know about prior to moving forward? So there may be escrow and title, again, depending on which state you're in. I'm in California, that may have to role play in this conditional approval before the big moment where we go to step number 6, which is closing, right? And this is our favorite because this is where hopefully we did a phenomenal job. Hopefully we can get a 5-star review. And of course we want to get paid for our work. So those are the 6 steps which really apply to any lending transaction. And once you understand those in your head, right? Discovery, well, I gotta ask a bunch of questions, figure out where this loan is gonna go. Once I know where it's gonna go, I'm gonna pre-qualify the borrower and ask the specific questions which are relating to that particular program. I'm gonna validate it by collecting the documentation. Once I have the documentation, we need a credit decision. So that goes to an underwriter. Hopefully that credit decision is positive. And when it's positive, we're gonna have a conditionally approved loan. And then once we satisfy those conditions, of course, the loan is gonna go to closing. And that's basically the whole journey, all right, guys? So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments of this video. Happy to answer those, looking forward to answering those. In addition to it, just like I said, check out the Part-Time Lender Academy, whether it's residential or commercial. The skeleton that we just discussed, the journey, is basically going to fit any one of those paths. Clearly, there's a lot more information to cover. It's all in the Academy. If you enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, simply because it's the only way YouTube will actually push the video forward, is by knowing that it's relevant to people like yourself who are looking for this information. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you on my next video. Take care.